Thanks very much, James. My name's Rikki. Before I begin, I'd first like to acknowledge that I'm speaking to you all and you're all on Naarm, and I'd like to pay my respects to the traditional owners and acknowledge their fight and their continual fight to protect their country. I'd also like to acknowledge the other Indigenous speakers that spoke at the conference. My mum, Tish, and I believe there are a few others. And also really thank Sybil and James, Catherine, Jono and Manasa. I thank you very much for your ongoing support. But also to everyone who is in the room, I believe that you're all health professionals. So I'm a registered nurse. I'm married to a doctor. I also had the privilege of being able to attend medical school. So I do understand that time is something that you don't have a lot on your hands. I apologise. And it's very valuable for everyone. So I appreciate the time that you're giving here today. I'd like to properly introduce myself, and if I may, I'd like to do that by sharing some photos. So I've put together a little slideshow. Here we go. It's not flash, it's it's just something that I've put together because I just wanted to show everyone. So here we go. Oops, sorry, I disappeared. Okay, so as you all know, my home is situated on the Beetaloo Basin. So my name is Rikki Dank. My traditional name is Ndari Noralima, and I am a Gurindji and Wakaya person from the Rumbaria clan and a traditional owner. The ladies that you are seeing now are my grandmothers or my great aunts, but they've filled the space of being grandmothers, which I've been really lucky and blessed to have. A lot of these ladies now have passed on. The next one is my grandfather. I've also been really lucky to have him as my grandfather. What you're seeing at the moment, this is where I live, where my family live. It's called Little River, and it is a lime. It's got lots of lime in the water, so it's really, really crystal clear. It's fed directly from the aquifers. And so I grew up swimming here. I know every rock in that river, and off those big trees we would jump into the water because it's very, very deep. And so we were lucky to grow up here and live on this country here. And that's my husband, the doctor. Poor guy, I dragged him out bush. So he spent a lot of time too out on my country. My country, I've been very lucky to go out, and I walked a lot of my country. I know a lot of my country. And I go with my grandmothers, the ladies that you saw previous, and we go and look for sugar bag, and we go and burn off our country. I'm also very lucky that my country is Marabana country, it's women's country. And our big story is of 3 women coming from Nooka and getting to down to Tennant Creek and then back to around our place, and they stop there and they call up the ocean and they make these this huge waterfall and these water holes, which you'll see in a moment. So our big sacred sites are here in these slides. So water is very, very precious to us. Women's voices and protecting country are very, very precious to us. Just some of our non-human kin here, which also are very, very precious to us, which we make special efforts when we're out bush to care for our non-human kin. Just some more photos. This is us going out bush. Now, for us, at the moment, as you all know, that our place is in danger of being fracked, or is in danger of being destroyed. But also down the road, a lot of you might know that we have one of the largest mines in Australia, McArthur River Mine. And so Gulanji country is already suffering from the effects of mining. In Borroloola, we are limited to what we're able to eat out of the river, so we are limited to, we can't eat as many turtles or as many fish as we once were able to, and you all know, being able to afford food in remote Aboriginal communities is something that is very difficult to do. Even getting food out to remote communities is very difficult to do. So supplementing our food with bush foods is something that we always do, and we still do to this day. So with fracking that will happen on our country, so not only will it limit our access to our country, but it will also poison our country. And here I'm just going to fast forward this a little bit and show you what they do. So here at the moment, you're looking at all the land that is being leased out by different fracking companies. The one in orange is the one that you see that is Empire Energy. They are here. This is my place. They are fracking all of this area, and so the Beetaloo is about the size of Belgium. Okay, and so you have Borroloola here, and you have McArthur River Mine here. Okay. So for us, as I said before, water is very, very important. I think about 90% of the Northern Territory uses bore water. And we know for a fact that all of the Beetaloo is connected with other aquifers right across the Northern Territory. So this will not only affect us, but it affects everyone in the Northern Territory. So what they will be using in the fracking process is a number of different poisons, around about 1,000 different chemicals, and that includes formaldehyde and large amounts of lead. The amount of water that they use in the fracking process, a UN report has come out and it stated that they will use anywhere up to 11 to 34 million litres of water. But a company that is on the Beetaloo and that are getting ready to frack the Beetaloo have stated that they will use, in fact, anywhere between 50 to 60 million litres of water. Now, currently, where we sit in terms of with water, there are huge droughts in Europe at the moment, in China, and in North America. And now, for us to be wasting such a precious water source, such a precious source that everyone depends on for life, is unthinkable for us. This here is our sacred site. As you can see, there's a lot of water and it's very deep, and our concerns that this will be destroyed. Here, when we walk into our sacred site, when we're walking into our site, we're very quiet. We don't speak, we don't fish here. I haven't showed very many people this before because it is our big sacred site. But my fear is that we're going to lose it. So we need to share as much information about this as possible. There are huge paper barks, and they're so big that you can't wrap your arms around them. And then when you're walking in, you're actually walking in on hundreds of leaves that have built up, which are entwined with the paper bark's root system, which we're worried will be destroyed and which will die from the effects of fracking. Other effects from fracking include an increase of the carbon emissions, which will increase by 20%. So fracking on the Beetaloo will not just affect us. Yes, it affects us acutely, but then it's going to affect everybody else in the long run. And in every single place where fracking is taking place, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get poisoned water, poisoned land, poisoned air, which we simply cannot afford in today's climate. Now, I guess that everyone is feeling a bit distressed about everything that I've just said, and that I believe that people will be feeling anxious and sad, a bit angry, I suppose, which is all really understandable because that's something that I go through every day. I go through a little bit of a roller coaster of emotions. But what I've figured out is then how to use those emotions as fuel to help me fight, to wake me up and drive me to fight for not just my family, for my country, for my grandmothers, and for the memory of my ancestors, but to make sure that they don't get away with this, these mining companies, make sure that they don't get away with robbing not just us, but everyone of precious resources. So what I do then is I turn that anger into fuel, and I think the best thing that we can do now is collectively get together, lift each other up, and support each other, as we saw in the last presentation. And I suppose the question is, what can we do? So for us, sharing our story, me now sharing my story with you all, has now become your story that you can share. So share our story, talk about the effects of fracking, talk about how this can impact your communities, as well as communities, remote Aboriginal communities, or any community that is being fracked. Go to your rallies, go and call the Minister for Health, the Minister for Environment, the Minister for Aboriginal Affairs. Call them, email them. And then at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you allow yourself to rest, so that you can get up and you can fight tomorrow. I think that's it from me, and I really appreciate the time that you have given to me to be able to share part of my story, and I hope that you feel that you can share this story with other people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rikki, for those beautiful words, and accompanied by such beautiful images as well. And just your generosity in sharing these stories with us and giving permission for us to go and share those with others. This is not the end of, and I hope this is just the start of this conversation, and there's a few things that we have in plan for an ongoing campaign against this fracking. So if anyone would like to get involved, feel free to get in touch with me. There was discussion about an open letter, which I was wondering, Rikki, if you wanted to speak to, and then we can maybe flag a couple of other opportunities.
Oh, yep. So at the moment, we will have that available for everyone soon, and we'll send that out. Also, we're building our website at the moment, so that should be up in the near future. But we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, so you can follow us there, and we'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Great. So the Twitter handle is Gudunji for the number 4 country, and Rikki is very active in keeping that updated with all the latest information and opportunities. and we'll share that open letter around for people who, if they want to sign it and send it to the relevant members. So thank you so much, Rikki, and
Thank you very much.
cheers.
Thank you.